Hey guys, we're back with another demo. A bit of a change of pace from all the downer stuff that I've been covering lately with the match fixing and stuff. This is going to be looking at the dynamic duo Asuna and Grim on Triumph. And the team they're playing, Bad News Bears, was another great Mountain Dew League team. These were basically the two top Mountain Dew League teams. And you could tell kind of just by looking at the names, if you play Valorant or are familiar with Mountain Dew League CS, these are some pretty good players on here. Like Grim, Asuna on Triumph, and Shake Zula as well. And then Bad News Bears, they have PTR, who's been around forever. He played on CLG. They have Crashies, John G, Dapper, and Mitch. So Dapper plays on Sentinels, and Mitch is playing on Cloud9 in Valorant. Anyways, I actually like what they did here. They force bot, but then they just stack a site. And they're like, you know what? If they come to B, we're good. We're stacked. But if they don't come, we'll just save our weapons, save our armor, and go into the next round with it. And then they also do this little nade stack, Grim and Asuna. Grim and Asuna play on site at B together. Grim, of course, getting picked up by Liquid. And he now plays on the best North American team. Pretty much uncontested best North American team. Yeah, this was... Honestly, looking at this type of game from them, it's really fun to kind of see how they were playing back in the day. I saw the names in this demo. I'm like, you know what? I got to check this out. I got to see it, right? And, you know, I kind of did watch it from the match fixing angle or whatever, but there's nothing in it for that. Or there's nothing that would make me suspicious to that, I guess I should say. I've said previously that really the people you need to usually keep an eye on are guys that don't have prospects, or they don't have a future in CS necessarily, and they're not making any money. So these guys were both signed. Both of these teams are making a salary. All the players are making a salary, and they have prospects, right? They have a chance to move on to the next echelon of CS. Grim obviously did that, and a lot of these guys have become very successful players. I would be surprised if anybody on either of these teams turned out to be in that match fixing circle, just because they were successful. They were the most successful teams in Valorant, right? The guys I was looking at before, like Calypso and Tex and them, they were really middle tier-ish, mostly bottom tier-ish actually for CSGO. And this aim from Asuna, just nasty. It looks, he aims in CSGO exactly how he aims in Valorant, just super high sensitivity and snappy. And he was saying on stream too, he plays with a super small mouse pad, or he played with a really small mouse pad. And that's kind of why he has high sense. He kills the guy at the back here. I didn't even notice this until I slowed it down, but he gets the kill through the smoke. And then just can't transfer in time. His teammate Grim is going to hide behind the box. You can see, like, they know that Asuna didn't push by himself, right? So they're very suspicious of that board. And then PTR takes him out with the op shot. But yeah, I don't know if, like, if you've ever watched Asuna stream, the dude is, like, as wholesome as it gets. He seems like such a super nice guy, and he's very young. I think he's only 19 years old. And he just seems like a super nice guy, and he's fit in perfectly on the 100 Thieves team with Nitro, Ethan, Steel, and Hiko. And honestly, he might be the star player. He definitely was the star player before they picked up Ethan. Now Ethan, you know, you can make the argument he's a star player on that team, but Asuna has big impact on that team. He is a very, very good Valorant player. And 100 Thieves look like they're picking it up again. They look like they're going to be one of the top 3 teams in North America. They just won their Challenger Series against ESEA in the finals. ESEA, a team kind of made up of like a mishmash of games. It's like a Fortnite player, an Apex Legends player, a dude from Crossfire. It's like I don't know any of the fucking people on that team, but I looked them up because I was curious. And I guess they just meshed together really well. Anyways, 100 Thieves were able to take them out in the Challenger Series final. 3-1, but it was a super close series. Like every game went to 13-10 or 13-11 or whatever. They're all very, very tight games. I was surprised to see Asuna with the op as well. Like he seems like the second opper on Triumph. I think Voltage was the main opper. And I don't know if I've ever seen him touch an op in Valorant. I don't think I have. Kind of gets stuck out of position a little bit there, but he's playing off his teammate Grim, and just Asuna peeking into Banana like that just gives Grim that free kill. They're never ever gonna check sandbags once they kill an Opera that's kind of playing at the wall there. Grim with a nasty hold here with the Sig too. This is an anti-eco, but still really nice. This was when the Sig was overpowered, right? Like this game's a couple years old. I think it's a year and a half old. And Triumph, actually, if you look at the score, they're getting the shit kicked out of them right now. Asuna with a really nice pop flash there for Grim to get in. But yeah, Triumph actually go on to lose this game. So I did, you know, originally I'm like, you know what, I don't know anything about the game. I'll check it out. And if there's, you know, if there was match fixing, I'll look at the team that lost, right? Because that would logically make sense. That's the team that may have been match fixing. So that's, and I also wanted to watch Grim and Asuna mostly. But yeah, like there's absolutely nothing here that would lead me to believe there's any type of match fixing going on. And yeah, it was just a good game. They make a little bit of a comeback on the T side, and they get a little bit, they get the scoreline closer to making it a reasonable game, but Bad News Bears end up closing it out. And yeah, I wonder, like, it's crazy to see the number of players in this game that switched on to Valorant and have really had successful careers in Valorant, you know, like Crashies was one of the first guys to, like, I guess a lot of the Mountain Dew League guys switched really early because they could, right? They weren't contractually obligated as much as the tier 1 players. Like Crashies switched like immediately. Who else? Asuna was over there pretty much immediately. Dapper and Mitch were all there right away, ready to go day one for Valorant. I guess it makes sense, you know, like the tier 1 guys were kind of stuck in their contracts, and it took a little bit extra time to get to them. Let me know if you guys kind of like the way I recorded this. I kind of tried to show both players' angles as they played throughout the game, and I don't know, it was fun to do, and you get to see kind of 2 players rather than 1. It was a little bit more work, but I think it turned out good. So let me know in the comments if you guys like the kind of the way I recorded this, and I could do more like this maybe. Even, you know, I could switch to Pro League and do games like this as well. I'm not gonna be stuck on the Mountain Dew League forever. I'm eventually gonna switch back to pro games, but yeah, I'm having fun going through this. Most, you know, the match fixing stuff has been entertaining, and it's been very relevant in the news as well. Like it's a pretty big deal, so I definitely felt like I had to cover that. But we'll see, you know, we'll see what the report brings. If the report comes out and it's impacting players that I didn't expect, then I might cover the guys that get banned or whatever, right? Especially if it's overlapping with Valorant or very successful Valorant players. I feel like I kind of, I don't know if it's the right word, but almost broke the news on text. Like it seemed like he wasn't on anybody's radar for the match fixing. And then after the demos that I watched of him, did not look good. Did not look good for him. But I'm going to go through some other Mountain Dew League teams. Maybe I can, you know, maybe the same thing will happen. I might be able to find a player that people aren't really aware was in on it. And yeah, do some stuff like that. But I'm not going to stick to this match fixing thing forever. I'm eventually going to switch back to Pro League type stuff. And I'll probably do a little bit with Valorant as well and kind of sprinkle that in there. You know, me personally as a player, I'm playing both. So I'm going to, like, as a content creator, it kind of makes sense to cover both. All right, we're on the tail end of the game here. 15-7 for Bad News Bears. Bad News Bears was the favorite going into this game. Triumph was a small underdog. I think they were, I forget their odds. They were just a small underdog, and people were kind of considering it. What a fucking shot from Asuna. Shit. Damn, that's a shot. Gets him with the first bullet too, eh? Shit, that's a nice shot. But yeah, people were considering Triumph to be like a good bet for this game, actually, because they were on the up and up, and Bad News Bears, like, they were a good team and everything. But the odds that were given for the game, I think they were saying Triumph was a 2-1 underdog. It wasn't really. It's a nice flick from Asuna too. The guy's blind, but still. Like, Triumph was given a 2-to-1 underdog odds, but people felt like, it should be more like 1-to-1. They're a pretty close team to Bad News Bears, so they were considered a good bet if you wanted to make some money, right? Of course, that didn't work out for Triumph, and they go on to lose this game, but I still had fun covering it, and I know, I don't know, I like watching these, like the prospects or the young guys kind of come up through the scene. Like a year and a half ago when this demo came out, we would have never known what was going to be made of Grim or Asuna or Crashies and stuff like that, right? And now we can kind of turn back the clock and see how successful they were in Counter-Strike and how good they were at it, right? I don't buy into the whole thing that they're wash-up pros that just moved over to Valorant for easy paychecks and stuff. I really feel like they earn their spot in Valorant. There's a lot of competition in Valorant for people to get onto top teams, and those guys all earned their spots legitimately, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you want to support the channel a little bit more, check out my Patreon, and I'll see you next time. Peace.